Hello, my name is Katie. It is currently Monday, which means it is the last week of July, which means it is the last week of the Summer Splash Readathon. Sully has very graciously offered to chew and crease my bingo board, which was very kind of him. Everybody say thank you to Sully. So it's a little worse for wear. We are going to try to complete the board. Will we succeed? I don't know. I have some books left to read. I need to complete a few prompts. So, easy breezy, I will be reading Bargain Bin Rom-Com. This will also complete Branch Out, which is to read a genre you don't usually read. I don't usually read poetry. This is Lena Norm's poetry collection. She is an incredible YouTuber. I highly recommend you check out her channel. She does a series called No Books on a Dead Planet, where she reads books about climate, and it's incredible. This is her debut poetry collection, and I will be devouring 6 or 7 of these a day and telling you my favorites. Next, we have to finish I Kissed Shara Wheeler. This will be our pride prompt. And this will be our buddy read prompt. I'm very much enjoying this so far. It is a gay paper towns, basically, and I'm really enjoying it. I don't usually read YA, so we'll see if I continue to enjoy it, but so far I really like Casey McQuiston's writing, and I'm having a good time. Then we have Lonely Castle in the Mirror, and this is going to fulfill the summer vacation prompt, which is to read something translated. It will also fulfill Sandcastle, because it's about royalty. This is The Wolf Queen. And it will also fulfill Share the Love, which is to read someone else's favorite book. This is Allie's favorite book from Allison Pages. In this book, we're following a couple of different children. Their mirrors start glowing one day. They enter this realm. There's a castle. They need to find a key. Once they find the key, the first one who finds the key gets a wish granted. But the castle disappears after that wish is granted. I've had a rough couple of weeks, honestly, and I need some warm fuzzies, and I think these 3 books will give me pink warm fuzzies. That's what I want, pink warm fuzzies. That's the theme of today. The Lonely Castle in the Mirror will also cover the Spice It Up prompt, which is to read by an author of color, but I would like to attempt another book, and that's either Lakewood or Mexican Gothic. So if I'm able to also do one of these, I would really like to do that, but I'm trying to not put a ton of pressure on myself to read a bunch this week, because I do have a lot going on and I'm still recovering from COVID. So this is the solid TBR, this is the flex TBR. So we're also gonna try to do tonight movie night. I did watch almost all of Jaws with my parents, but I didn't finish it, so I could just count it. But I think we're gonna watch, I really wanna watch just Studio Ghibli, so I think we're either gonna watch Kiki's Delivery Service, Spirited Away, or My Neighbor Totoro, which are my current 3 favorites. So one of those I will watch, and I will film as much of it as I can without getting copyrighted. And we'll try to do some of the other ones too. I think that would be fun. I can't taste anything, so we will also document that journey for you. This currently tastes like, I'm getting like the aftertaste of Coke, but I'm not getting the front taste of Coke. It's like carbonated that turns up at the end. I'm gonna keep reading this. I'll see you soon. Okay, I have read my poems for the day, and I have one that I want to share with you. It's called 2.0, and there's a little introduction before the poem from my grandmother, who was also named Kathleen Normington. We have never met, but I have your name first and last, your round features, your metabolism. I wish I could show you all the ways I get to be a person now, that this Kathleen gets hopes and dreams and a chance to own herself, that we get a voice in the next round, that the world gets kinder when the 2nd edition comes out. I think that's beautiful. And that's the poem of the day that I have to share with you. Good morning. It is Tuesday morning, and I am just about ready for work, But before, I wanted to have a cup of tea and read some more of these poems. And I know I said that I was only going to read 6 or 7 a day, but I literally cannot stop myself from reading these once I start. So I've already read like 17 of them. And I just have to say, the first few that I read didn't really connect with me, and I was feeling really sad that they didn't. And I kind of flipped through and just stopped on one that sounded good to me, and it was incredible, and that's one that I read to you yesterday. And then today I've just been kind of flipping through and just reading whatever catches my eye, and I'm having a much better time, and I'm really, really loving these poems. And they're very Lena. They touch on all of the different things that she's passionate about and that she does, and it's just so lovely to see somebody that I look up to completing a dream of theirs, and that's to be published, and I'm just like really happy for her. And I'm really loving the collection, and I'm just so happy that I was able to get my hands on it. I have been reading I Kiss Shara Wheeler, but I have no updates for you. So I don't think I'll update you until I finish it, unless there's a twist, but I don't think there will be. I'm gonna go to work. I'll see you later. This tastes like hot liquid with a hint of tea. My taste is coming back, baby. I did not realize when I lost my taste, and then I did not realize when it came back. So this morning I had my tea and I was like, tastes like nothing, just like usual. And then it got a little cold, and then I drank it again and I was like, I can taste this. So then I got really excited, and I haven't been able to taste chocolate, and I have these really adorable, I'll show you. I have these little biscuits, and they are perfect for drinking. Drinking? I eat them, I don't drink them. They're perfect for eating while you drink tea, and I haven't been able to taste them. But I tried one, and I can taste it, and I'm really, really excited about it. And my camera battery's gonna die, so I don't have a reading update, but I just wanted you to know that I can taste things again. We'll read later. Okay, bye. Hi, this is a weird angle. I'm sorry. I finished the book. I have some thoughts. Not all of them are good, and I'm a little bummed about that. I may have DNF'd this book if I wasn't reading this for the readathon. The middle of the book I found so incredibly grating. Like, I hated Shara in the middle of the book, and I kind of hated Chloe too. And like, I understand why they did the things they did. Like, it's very high school, and I'm not the intended audience. And what kept me going were these beautiful interactions that Casey McQuiston has put into all of the like side characters and side plot that's happening. So while we're following this story of Chloe trying to find Shara Wheeler, we are also following all of Chloe's friends and Shara's friends and all of the other students at this high school, and they are all having all of these like really profound high school coming of age moments. It's all a little gay, and it's all so wonderful. I think that this is Casey McQuiston writing a young adult book, and it's my least favorite thing that I've read by them, and that's because I'm not a young adult. And so I would definitely recommend this to anyone who loves young adults and anyone who is in high school. It's a gay John Green book, basically, and I'm sure if I read Paper Towns now, I would dislike the same things that I disliked about this book. Hey, sweetie. I'm really glad that things like this exist and that we can still have the angsty, annoying teenage drama and have it be more inclusive. And that's how I feel about this. Was it a home run for me? Absolutely not. But I'm not the intended audience of this book. And I think it achieved what it was setting out to do. This is Casey McQuiston writing a young adult, and it's got all of the things that I love about the rest of their books. And it's YA, and that's the reason why I didn't love it as much. So that's what I have to say about that. I wanted to watch My Neighbor Totoro, but now it's already 9. And I think maybe the doggy needs a walk. You wanna go for a walk? I'm gonna take doggy for a walk. And then I'd like to watch a movie, but maybe we'll just watch Love Island instead. Which means that tomorrow I can start Lonely Castle in the Mirror. And I have to say, I've overhyped this book in my mind, and I don't think there's any way that it can live up to the hype. So I'm trying to manage my expectations. But I am just really excited about it. I have so many things that I need to read in August that I have to complete this TBR before the end of the month. So we're gonna power through. I just have this left, and then I'm also, as you know, reading poems from here. The next time you see me, I will look less bent at wrong angles. Bye. Hello, it's now Wednesday. I watched maybe half of Moana last night before I fell asleep, but I did get to both of my favorite songs. You're Welcome with Maui and the one with the crab. Those are my 2 favorite songs. And I got to them, so that's really all I wanted from the movie anyways. I have read my poems for the day, and I don't have one to share with you today, but I did enjoy a lot of the poems that I read. I just don't have one that I feel like I need to share. So we'll share one with you tomorrow. I'm really still so knocked out from having COVID. I'm gonna try not to push myself super hard with reading because I can't get more sick than I am right now. I'm really done with being sick. So I'm just gonna sleep and nap and watch just people's silly little vlogs on YouTube because that's what's making my heart happy right now. Okay, it's 10. I've been working since like 8, so I'm taking a break to watch reading sprints, and I'm going to actually read this book. Wish me luck. I've read something. Are you proud of me? I participated in reading sprints this morning, and I have read 43 pages of Lonely Castle in the Mirror, and it's fantastic. I am really having a good time. I don't know why we're zoomed in so much. Okay. I'm having a great time with this. All I want to do is read this. So I've made a horrible mistake because now I don't want to do my job. I just want to read this book, but I need to do my job so that I can buy more books. Okay, see you after work. Bye. Oh, this is a very unflattering angle. Okay. Hi. I'm sure that the lighting and this angle is awful, but I left Sully to go get groceries for the first time in like almost 2 weeks because I had COVID, so I wasn't leaving my house. And apparently he thought I was leaving him forever. So he's being a little dramatic. I have to talk to you about Lonely Castle in the Mirror because I'm having a fantastic time. I'm only like 50 pages in, but I'm already in love with it. The atmosphere, the way that it's written, the way that the characters talk to each other. I'm just so curious to find out, not even to find out what's gonna happen, but just, I really just wanna like get to know all of our characters. What do you think, Saul? Reading sprints were so fun. I love reading sprints. Good morning. I have oatmeal and I have a wolf on my lap because there's condensation on the window. So he can't see outside, so he keeps barking At nothing. I did not sleep very much last night because there was a thunderstorm and Sully decided that meant that he couldn't go to the bathroom before going to bed. So then he woke me up in the middle of the night to go to the bathroom. And then he started barking at me starting at like 5 in the morning. But I have read more poems from in here and they're lovely. I love all of these poems. If you haven't picked this up yet, I think you should. It's marketed as doom and glitter, and I think that's a good marketing for it. It is doom and glitter. Let's read one together. I haven't read this one yet. Mum's a word. Mum is a word drizzled over cornflakes and handed to you on your way to the day. A folded pile of useful words left on the stairs to use when you need them. It's yet another drive to drop off, yet another gym kit. It's a letter written to the adults in your defense. It's a no because I love you, a yes bring your friends, I made a bed up for them too. It's an I won't always agree, but I'll make you a sandwich to eat on your way. Mum is a person who teaches you that mum is not a person at all, but a note slipped under a door that says, everyone deserves this. That's nice. I have such a busy day at work, but we're gonna get through it, and then it's the weekend. All I want to do today is read Lonely Castle in the Mirror. As soon as I'm done with work, that's all we're doing. I'm so tired. Hopefully the next clip I'll be showered and excited. See you then. I have finished part 1 of Lonely Castle in the Mirror. I'm now on part 2, which is the second semester. I don't want this book to end. I love it so much. Nothing is really happening, but the pages fly by. Like, I just read it so quickly. It's so lovely and wholesome. And basically we're following a bunch of different children, and none of them are really talking about school. Some of them aren't going to school. Some of them we don't know if they're going to school. We basically know nothing about any of the children's lives except for our main character, Kokoro, and she is not going to school, and something has happened to her while she was at school, and that's why she's not going to school. And so they're basically spending all their time at this castle in the mirror. They're playing video games, and they're having tea, and just talking to each other, but not really learning much about each other. And it's just really real. Like, all of the characters seem like real people, and I understand their motivations, and none of them really fit in. And it's just, I don't know, it's just really nice to hear about them, and I'm having a really lovely time, and I wanted to check in with you because I've finished part 1. But I did want to share like a little channel update with you too, because I hit 100 subscribers today, which is really exciting. So thank you guys so much. I cannot believe that 100 people want to be notified when I post a video about books on the internet. I love you guys so very much. So if you're watching this and you've been considering starting a booktube channel or any YouTube channel, here is my advice to you. Just do it. Make the content that you want to watch. Okay, thanks for listening to me gush. I totally understand why Allie has a tattoo of the Wolf Queen, and I'm not even halfway through this book yet. I'm having a really lovely time. I'll see you later. I just finished Lonely Castle in the Mirror, and it is very much past my bedtime, so I will tell you about it in the morning, but it was perfect. Good morning, good morning. Ooh, cool. That's what I look like today. Awesome. Okay, I did not sleep well last night. I had cats coming in and out of the house. I had dogs barking at the cat. I only have one cat and one dog. I don't know why I'm pluralizing it. I didn't sleep very much, so I'm exhausted. So we spent the morning reading poetry on the couch, and it was lovely. Thank you, Sully, for cuddling with me. I read a lot of really great long poems that I'm not going to share with you, but I just want to tell you the titles of them so that when you pick this up, as you should, you can read them. As it turns out, I really loved Small Talk. That's one of my favorites. And I only have about 6 poems left to read, so I'm excited to finish that tomorrow. I did also finish last night Lonely Castle in the Mirror, and I was not planning on doing that. I was planning on reading it today, but I stumbled upon one of Katie Coulson's old reading sprints that had like every booktuber on it, and it was really fun. So I was enjoying watching that old archived live, and basically was doing the reading sprints. So I finished this, and it is an amazing book. It's a new favorite, 5 stars. I really, really loved everything about this book. The way that all of the characters spoke to each other, and the way that we got to understand their past, how they ended up at the castle, their relationship with school and education, and the way that they've been treated. They're all kind of a little bit outsiders, and it's just such an interesting story, and I think this author is incredible for the way that she put this together, because the premise sounds very action-packed. It's a group of kids, all of their mirrors start shining, and they end up at this castle, and they have to find this key. But there's not a lot that happens, and yet a lot happens. If you're looking for a high adventure story, this is not it. It's much more about learning about these children and them learning how to trust other kids again. And it's just incredibly beautiful and atmospheric. And yet it's not boring at all, because we do have this overlying, there's a timeline on this. They're in the castle for a year. We're getting our main character's home life, and we're getting her time in the castle, and the way that those two things are interacting, and her relationship with trying to go to school, and all of these really mundane things. But then we have this overarching, you have 1 year to find the key and the wishing room and make a wish, and then it all goes away. I did not expect the ending of this at all, and I have to say, this is a pretty perfect book. I have no notes. No notes. It's amazing. It's been a really long time since I've read a book that made me feel the way that this book did, and I'm really glad that I took my time and I read it over the course of a few days, and I'm really bummed that I'm done with it now, because I want to go back and reread it. I would love for this to be made into a Studio Ghibli movie. I think it would be. Okay, so I have actually pretty much finished my entire TBR for this readathon. So we can cross off Summer Vacation, because this is a translated work. We can cross off Royalty, because we have the Wolf Queen as a character. And we can cross off Share the Love, because this is Allie from Alice in Pages, one of her favorite books. We can also cross off Spice It Up, because this is written by an author of color. We are going to hit a few more bingos tomorrow when I finish the last 6 poems in here, because we'll cross off Easy Breezy and Branch Out, which will give us another bingo. I was going to either read Lakewood or Mexican Gothic, but honestly, I'm a little burnt out on horror right now, because I did participate in Summerween and I read a lot of horror during that. So I don't think I'm going to pick up another book. I am just going to finish off these poems, and then I will check back in with you for a little wrap up. Unfortunately, I wasn't able to complete many of the non-reading prompts, but it's been a really rough month for me, so I'm just proud that I was able to get so much reading in and actually complete the TBR that I wanted to complete. So I'm gonna finish my poetry, and then I'll see you in a little bit, and I'll recap the whole month. We have made it to the end of the Summer Splash Readathon, and I have to say I'm super happy about everything that I have read this month. I cannot believe that I had such a good reading month this month, even with all of the other stuff that was going on in my life. So let's go through the bingo board, because we have some things to cross off. Okay, so we have officially gotten 1, 2, 3 entire bingos. Yay! I got the X, and then we also did this row here. I'm just going to recap the entirety of Summer Splash, and then I'll give you my thoughts on Bargain Bin Rom-Com at the very end. So for Surf's Up, to read something with water on the cover, we read The House in the Cerulean Sea. We also read Guest List. For Roots, we did Tricky Dog. If you haven't seen the vlog where I read this to my dog, please go watch it. It's incredibly fun. He had a great time with that. This was a childhood book that we always read to all of our pets growing up. So carrying on the tradition and reading it to Sully. Then we did the Get Lost prompt, where we went to an ice cream shop. We also did Heat Waves, which was to read a book set entirely in the summer. We read Happy Hour for that. Then we had the buddy read, which was I Kissed Cheryl Wheeler. Then we did Easy Breezy, which is to read something under 200 pages, and we read this lovely little poetry collection for that. Then we had movie night, in which we watched Jaws and then Moana. Then we did Touch Grass, which is to read a book entirely outside, and we read Happy Hour for this. That was an audiobook that I read entirely outside. Then we had Sunny Day, which was read something with yellow on the cover, which this counts for, I don't know if this is kind of orangey. Happy Hour counts. House in the Cerulean Sea would count, as well as the guest list. Then we did Pride, which would be I Kissed Cheryl Wheeler. I believe this would also count for Pride. Then we did Track Star, where we participated in some reading sprints, which were very, very fun. Then we had the Free Space. Then we have Branch Out, and again, we're going to count this for that because I do not usually read poetry collections, and I'm really glad that I did. I want to pick up more of them because I had so much fun with this. We could technically count the I Like It Picasso because we did some paint by numbers, but I'm not going to count it because it wasn't book inspired. And then we did Hot Girl Summer, which we could count Bargain Bin Rom-Com for, we could count Lonely Castle in the Mirror for, any book written by a woman. Then we have Spice It Up, and that's to read from a non-white author, and we did that with Lonely Castle in the Mirror. Then we have Summer Vacation, which is to read a translated work, and we did that with Lonely Castle in the Mirror. Also Sandcastle, which is to read a book with royalty in it. We have The Wolf Queen in here. And Share the Love, which is to read someone else's favorite book. We read Allie's favorite book in this video, and I had a fantastic time. All of these books I enjoyed. I think it's crazy because I did find some new favorites through this. Like, this is a new favorite for sure, and this is also a new favorite. So I'm so thrilled that I found 2 new favorite books while doing this readathon. I do have to give you my final thoughts on Bargain Bin Rom-Com. I have to say that I really love Lena's writing style. I really loved her illustrations as well. I don't know if I've shown you any of them, but she did illustrate this collection herself, which I thought was really, really cool. Some of my favorites from the last couple ones, The Sound of Ripping Paper, Always One was great. Lesser Known Love Languages, I really, really loved. I'll read you that one. Lesser Known Love Languages. The forgiven drip of tea on new cushions, untotted and dismissed with a toffee wink, an open biscuit tin wedged between knees rather than carefully counted out on allotted crockery, the dip of a chin that nods you through when it isn't your turn, the extra pen slid across the desk, the tripped name on the tip of your tongue offered before the beat that would have made it awkward, the heads up that there's no loo roll in that one, the hands that hold heavy doors and wave you across roads, oceans, days, the little ways we pass the note that says, you exist, in all the teeniest trivial ways. This was definitely a poetry collection wrapped in doom and glitter, and I really, really loved it. So huge shout out to Lena. If you have not picked this up, I would highly recommend it. She wrote this poetry collection to be accessible to people who think poetry is not for them. So if you don't usually get along with poetry and you liked some of the excerpts that I was able to share with you in this video, I would highly recommend that you pick it up. Again, I'm so incredibly thrilled that I was able to get an autographed copy of this. I'm gonna end the vlog here. Thank you guys so much for being here. I post every Tuesday and every Friday. So if you are interested in sticking around for more bookish thoughts, please consider subscribing. If you like this video, please give it a like and let me know why in the comments so I can keep making more content like this. Thank you guys so much for being here. I will see you very, very soon with another video. Happy reading. See you soon.